Why are you deciding to show off or display your gift in the first place? And are you doing a good job at displaying your gift? Because if you don't have the proper skills in order to add to it, you could be portraying something that is not even related to your gift. Welcome to another session of Strategies for Creators. My name is Chris Branham, and today we are talking about chasing your glory. What does that even look like? Let's brainstorm. But a few weeks back, I mentioned something about your glory, right? This was something I did like a quick snippet. I might have put it on YouTube, Instagram, like Twitter, TikTok, something. But what I was getting at was, what do you consider glory and what do you consider your glory? So what I came to as far as my conclusion is, it is your light. It is what's inside of you. It is what you're good at. It is what you expound and radiate out of you, which is what you're all about, which is your creativity, your gift. How do you radiate your gift? Well, a few ways you could do that is, one, be really good at it and put it on display. The second way is you talk about it, but no one really sees it until you start doing it. So are you really sharing your gift? The greatest thing you can do is expound upon the skills that you have in order to put your gift on display. And what's most beneficial when you're trying to exemplify your glory. Everybody has glory. I know some people might disagree with me, especially some of the Christians when they look at, well, God is the only one who has glory. I get that. God does have his glory, but I'm not talking about his glory and our glory competing with each other. I'm talking about him having his glory and us having our glory. Our glory is literally what he gave us. When you put your gift on display, you need skills and abilities in order to expound on that gift. So when you understand what your gift is, then you start adding to it in order to make it look polished, attractive. Let's take a tree for an example. An apple tree does not look very appealing if you just look at its branches, possibly even its leaves. Until you start seeing the fruit on display, you now understand that that is an apple tree and that is the gift that is willing to give to other individuals. So when you see that, that is what's going to be, crescendo of the apple tree is bearing the fruit, which is the glory of the tree. The glory only comes about when everything that is necessary happens within the tree in order to portray and produce the fruit. It needs nourishment, it needs water, it needs sun, photosynthesis. So it has to learn how to acquire rain. It has to learn how to acquire sun. It has to learn how to acquire nutrients, which is the roots, which is the leaves, which is all those things that are necessary, which are the skills in order to produce the gift and the gift to be on display. So it brings me to my first point. Why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you deciding to show off or display your gift in the first place? And are you doing a good job at displaying your gift? Because if you don't have the proper skills in order to add to it, you could be portraying something that is not even related to your gift. My gift personally is the ability to interpret, and it's also to understand the end from the beginning. I love problem solving. I love looking at somebody's idea or hearing a concept and then being able to map it out in a process and give you a roadmap and tell you the processes and procedures that are necessary. But I realize that's not everybody's gift. That also comes from being observant. It also comes from learning how to listen carefully and hear what they're trying to portray from what's being said. I love it and enjoy it, but without the skills of listening, without the skills of documentation, without the skills of prioritization, it would be very difficult to put my gift on display. But without those credentials and those pieces that are necessary, it's going to be like me talking to the wind, because I can't give them actual applicable knowledge and then give it to them in a way that they can actually learn from it and do something with the information, which now gives them action steps. So what's critical is whatever you're putting on display, whether it's a product or it's a service, how are you giving it to somebody? And what is the why of why you're doing it? Make sure that information of the why is clear and precise, because it can be easily lost in translation if you don't do a good job at it. Why do you want your gift to be on display? Why do you want the glory? Is it prestige? Is it, money? Is it the things that you can buy and purchase after your gift has been sold. Like, what is the real reason? There's two types of individuals in the creative environment that do this really well or don't do it really well. One, you have a creative individual, which I believe we all are. But then the second individual is the artisan that is extremely passionate about what they do. Will they want to put their gift on display? And if they do they even care about the monetization of what they're doing? That's when they might need a publicist or someone else to market them, because they're so engulfed in the creativity. They could care less about if somebody likes it or enjoys it, and they don't want to even explain it. Some individuals that you might see like that is from a musician standpoint, is like Miles Davis. He's extremely passionate and was extremely passionate about his gift and about playing. Prince was the same way. Erykah Badu, same way, extremely sensitive about her work. But that is a true artisan that is passionate about what they're doing. Creatives, there's a ton of them. They're always pushing stuff out there. They want to be relevant. They want to make sure that their stuff is out there and seen. Most people that are very passionate about their craft and just want to care about the art often are considered starving artists. And then you have the creative individual that desires to have it all and willing to monetize, but they might be focusing too much on marketing and lose the clear understanding of what they're trying to portray through their gift as far as their artisan and their artisanship. At that point, now we're looking at the highest peak of gratification in your glory. And I've laid out a few things that I looked at, and it could come from a few different areas. One could be awards. You want the accolades. You want people to see what you have done and your accomplishments from that. The other one that you might have is the opportunities that come about. When you put your gift on display and you're monetizing and you're looking at your glory in that sense and the caliber of gratification, now you're trying to figure out, okay, how do I maximize on the opportunities? What is going to come about from me displaying my gift, my glory to other individuals? Will it open doors? Will it give me opportunities to be on television? Will it make me famous in some instances? Which brings it to another one, family and friends. Are they the ones I'm trying to appease? Are they the ones that are going to be pushing and glorifying and, gawking over my work? Or do I desire for other individuals to do it, which might be outside of your wheelhouse? And this might mean your audience, your fans, the ones that see you as prestigious, or they see in your eyes as something that is meant to be glorified. And then the last one is, are you doing it for you? Are you the one that you're wanting to produce for and you're happy with the end result, no matter if anyone else gives you any type of prestige, glory, or even recognizes what you're doing? This is going to be the difference of gratification, which to me is a difficult spot to be in when you get older, because as for me, I did art for a very long time, still do it, but my real gratification was when it wasn't on display. When I found the gratification in just doing and being, and be in that moment. When you start doing it for other reasons and other motives, it's very difficult to still be in the moment, because now you have so many other areas pulling on you to make you make sense to so many different environments and so many different people. Now you got to make sense to marketing, and you got to make sense to sales, and you got to make sense to your end audience and your fans. But what about just making sense to you? And that's where the true artisan that is considered the starving artist, which is really the passionate individual, and nothing that they do is going to be for other people initially. It's just a passion project. I engulf myself in it, and I truly enjoy it no matter what. And I really don't care if you like it or not. That is a major difference. And that's why I say, when you do it for you, that's what you're tapping into. And that is probably, to me, the closest area where you can feel like you're tapping into your godlike abilities of creativity. God was creating, and he did not care about anyone else's input, thoughts, or conceptual ideas. One, he was creating on his own and no one existed. And then second, when we did exist, he could care less if you liked it or didn't like it. I created it for a specific reason. It's what I did. It's what I enjoyed. Too bad if you don't like it. And then when you look at the glory in its totality, there's something that I wrote down. It's all about what is motivating you. What is driving you to create? What is driving you to put your gift on display? Because whenever someone sees it, that's what they're going to see, is the driver. They're going to know if they're really looking at what you're doing and what you're really doing it for, either in your speech or behavior. They're going to know if you really did it out of a pure place because of how you light up about it, which is a clear intention and depiction of your glory on display, because you're excited about it and you can't hide it. There's no way you can put it out. There's no way you can hide a luminescent thing that enjoys burning bright. So when you start pushing out your creativity and your gifts on display, it's hard to mask that with something else. It's no different from lighting a candle and now you put something in front of it, now you got a filter. Well, you know the light is back there, however, something else is blocking it. And that is usually what you see when you see other motives in the way of what you desire to create. So let's get back to tapping into the appreciation, the validation, and the consideration that only you can bring to yourself. This is about value, and this is about knowing your worth. If you don't know it, it's very difficult for someone else to grab it and give it to you. Because what they're going to give you is what they think you're worth. They're going to give you what they think is valuable. They're going to utilize only parts and components of you rather than the full gambit of your glory and who you are in its totality. But if you truly love them and appreciate them, you're going to want all of them, not just a part and a piece. So this is where creativity shines extremely bright. But when your gift is on display and your glory is shown, they like all of it. They're not trying to pick and choose what is best to fit them. They're looking at you to fit them completely. Hope you enjoyed this podcast. I love to brainstorm. Feel free to hit me in the link below. I also added my website. If you are struggling to figure out what do I do next as a creative individual and how to make my glory shine brighter, happy to help, happy to coach, happy to be a part to make your next steps your best steps. Peace.